Welcome to Dream Tale Sleep Stories. Tonight's reading is the Shogi Players Mystery. Settle into your bed or sofa and let your shoulders, jaw, and eyelids grow heavy. Inhale slowly, 1, 2, 3, and sigh the air away, allowing the day to fade into quiet dark. With every soft inhale, you invite fresh English phrases. With every gentle exhale, stray thoughts drift farther off. Behind my voice flows a gentle 528 Hz melody, renowned for guiding the mind toward deep relaxation. Keep your eyes closed or follow the captions, whichever feels right. Simply receive the rhythm and resonance of the language. Deep in rest, tonight's phrases will take root like seeds, ready to bloom into stronger English skills with the morning light. When you feel settled, hold that unhurried breath and allow yourself to drift into the tale. The Shogi Players Mystery begins now, and when the story's final line has faded, the music will linger a little longer, carrying you gently deeper into sleep. The Shogi Players Mystery. Kenji was a 16-year-old high school student who loved playing shogi more than anything else. He had been learning shogi since he was 8 years old, and now he was the captain of his school's shogi club. Every day after school, he practiced shogi for 2 hours in the club room on the 3rd floor of the school building. One Monday morning in October, Kenji arrived at school early as usual. He wanted to practice some new opening moves before classes started. As he walked through the school gate, he noticed that something was different. There was a small crowd of students standing near the bicycle parking area, and they were all talking excitedly about something. Kenji walked over to see what was happening. His friend Yuki, who was also in the shogi club, was standing in the crowd. "What's going on?" Kenji asked. "Someone has been moving all the bicycles around," Yuki explained. "Look, my bicycle was supposed to be here, but now it's over there, by the fence, and Tanaka's bicycle is where mine should be." Kenji looked at the bicycle parking area carefully. Indeed, many bicycles had been moved to different positions. Some were even turned upside down. It wasn't serious damage, but it was very annoying for the students who had to find their bicycles and put them back in the right places. "This is the 3rd time this week," said Mai, a girl from Kenji's class. "Last Wednesday, someone mixed up all the shoes in the shoe lockers. On Friday, they rearranged all the books in the library's study area." "Has anyone told the teachers?" Kenji asked. "Yes, but they haven't found who's doing it," Mai replied. "The principal thinks it's just a student playing pranks." Kenji thought about this problem as he walked to the club room. These incidents reminded him of something, but he couldn't quite remember what it was. He sat down at his usual shogi board and started arranging the pieces. As he placed each piece on the board, he began to see a pattern. In shogi, every piece had its own way of moving. The silver general moved differently from the gold general. The knight had a unique L-shaped jump. Each piece had its own pattern. Maybe the person doing these pranks has a pattern too, Kenji said to himself. During lunch break, Kenji decided to investigate. He took out his notebook and started writing down all the information he knew about the incidents. Wednesday, shoes mixed up. Morning, first floor. Friday, library books moved. After school, second floor. Monday, bicycles rearranged. Before school, outside. He studied his notes carefully, using the same concentration he used when analyzing a shogi game. In shogi, you had to think many moves ahead. You had to predict what your opponent would do next. There's definitely a pattern here, Kenji muttered. The pranks are getting bigger. First, just shoes inside lockers. Then books on tables. Now bicycles outside. The person is becoming braver. After school, Kenji went to the shogi club room as usual. The other club members were already there, setting up their boards for practice games. Kenji's regular opponent was Takeshi, a second-year student who was very good at defensive strategies. Kenji, you seem distracted today, Takeshi said as they started their game. Is something bothering you? I'm thinking about these pranks, Kenji replied, moving his rook forward. I want to find out who's doing them. Why do you care so much? Takeshi asked, protecting his king with a gold general. Because it's like a shogi problem, Kenji explained. You have to think about the opponent's strategy. Why are they making these moves? What's their goal? As they played, Kenji continued thinking about the pranks. In shogi, there were different types of players. Some were aggressive, always attacking. Some were defensive, waiting for the opponent to make mistakes. Some were unpredictable, changing their style during the game. What kind of player is the prankster? Kenji wondered aloud. The next morning, Tuesday, Kenji arrived at school very early. He had decided to watch and wait, just like in shogi, when you waited for your opponent to reveal their strategy. He found a spot near the entrance where he could see both the bicycle parking area and the main building. At 6:45 a.m., he saw something interesting. A student wearing a baseball cap walked quickly toward the bicycle area. The student looked around nervously, then started moving bicycles. But this time, Kenji noticed something important. The student was wearing the school's cleaning crew armband. The cleaning crew, Kenji realized. They have keys to all the rooms. They come early and stay late. They have access to everything. But Kenji needed more evidence. In shogi, you couldn't win with just one piece. You needed to coordinate multiple pieces for a successful attack. He followed the student at a safe distance. The student went into the school building and headed to the first floor. Kenji watched as the student entered the teacher's room using a key. Strange, Kenji thought. Why would a student in the cleaning crew go to the teacher's room so early? The next day, Wednesday, Kenji recruited Yuki to help him. I need you to watch the south entrance while I watch the main entrance, he told his friend. If you see anyone from the cleaning crew acting suspicious, text me. They positioned themselves like shogi pieces, protecting the king. covering all the important squares. At 6:50 a.m., Yuki sent a text. Cleaning crew member heading to gym storage room. Kenji quickly went to the gym. He arrived just in time to see someone arranging all the sports equipment in strange patterns. Basketballs were lined up in a perfect diagonal line. Volleyball nets were folded into triangular shapes. Everything was organized in geometric patterns. Now Kenji understood. This wasn't just random pranking. The person was creating patterns, just like the patterns in Shogi. Each piece had its place. Each move had a purpose. He recognized the student now. It was Hiroshi, a first-year student who had joined the Shogi club at the beginning of the term, but quit after just 2 weeks. "Hiroshi," Kenji called out. The younger student jumped in surprise and turned around. His face went pale when he saw Kenji. I was just organizing things," Hiroshi stammered. "You've been doing all the pranks, haven't you?" Kenji said calmly. "The shoes, the books, the bicycles. You've been arranging them in patterns." Hiroshi's shoulders dropped. "How did you know?" "Because I play shogi," Kenji replied. "I recognize patterns. I think ahead. I noticed you were in the cleaning crew, which gave you access. But more importantly, I recognize the patterns you were making. They're like shogi formations." Hiroshi nodded slowly. "I love patterns and strategies. I wanted to join the Shogi club, but everyone was so much better than me. I lost every game. It was embarrassing." "So you quit the club, but still wanted to make patterns?" Kenji asked. "Yes," Hiroshi admitted. "I thought if I couldn't make patterns on a shogi board, I could make them with other things. I didn't mean to cause trouble. I wanted to create something strategic and beautiful." Kenji thought for a moment. In shogi, sometimes the best move wasn't to capture the opponent's piece, but to give them a chance to move differently. "Hiroshi, you don't have to be good at playing shogi to appreciate it," Kenji said. "Why don't you come back to the club? You could help us organize tournaments, keep records of our games, or even create shogi puzzles for practice. There are many ways to be part of the shogi world." Hiroshi's eyes lit up. "Really? You would let me come back?" "Of course," Kenji smiled. "But first, you need to apologize to everyone for the pranks, and you need to stop doing them." "I will," Hiroshi promised. "I'll apologize at the morning assembly, and I'll help put everything back to normal." That afternoon, Kenji was back in the Shogi club room. Hiroshi was there too, not playing, but carefully recording the moves of a game between 2 other members. He was creating a detailed record that would help the players analyze their game later. "You solved the mystery," Yuki said to Kenji. "How did you figure it out?" "Shogi taught me to look for patterns," Kenji explained. "Every player has a style. Every strategy leaves clues. You just have to observe carefully and think several moves ahead." "Like a detective," Yuki said. "Like a shogi player," Kenji corrected with a smile. From that day on, the pranks stopped completely. Hiroshi became the official record keeper of the Shogi Club. He created beautiful diagrams of famous games and made challenging puzzles for the other members to solve. He found his place in the shogi world, not as a player, but as someone who understood and appreciated the beauty of the game's patterns. A week later, the principal announced at the morning assembly that the mystery of the pranks had been solved. He thanked Kenji for his detective work and praised him for handling the situation with wisdom and kindness. "You didn't just catch the person responsible," the principal said. "You understood why they did it and helped them find a better way to express their interests." After the assembly, many students came to thank Kenji. Some even asked him to help solve other small mysteries: missing homework, mixed-up love letters, and disappeared lunchboxes. "You should start a detective club," Mai suggested. "No thanks," Kenji laughed. "I already have a club. But if you have a mystery that involves patterns or strategy, I'll be happy to help." That evening, as Kenji practiced shogi in the club room, he thought about what had happened. Shogi had taught him more than just how to move pieces on a board. It had taught him to observe, to think ahead, to understand his opponent's mind, and to find creative solutions to problems. "In shogi and in life," he said to himself as he moved his silver general forward, "every move matters. Every pattern has meaning. You just need to know how to look for it." Takeshi, who was playing against him, noticed Kenji's satisfied smile. "You seem happy today." "I am," Kenji replied. "I learned that shogi skills can be useful in unexpected ways." "Like solving mysteries?" Takeshi asked. "Like understanding people," Kenji answered. "In shogi, you try to understand your opponent's strategy. In life, you try to understand why people do what they do. It's not so different." As the sun set outside the clubroom window, casting long shadows across the shogi boards, Kenji felt grateful for all the lessons shogi had taught him. He had started learning shogi just as a game, but it had become a way of thinking, a way of solving problems, and a way of helping others. The shogi club continued to meet every day after school. Hiroshi became an invaluable member, creating study materials and organizing practice matches. He even started a newsletter about shogi strategies that became popular throughout the school. And Kenji? He kept playing, kept learning, and kept watching for patterns. Because in a world full of mysteries, a shogi player's mind was the perfect tool for finding solutions.
you